Hello everyone. Welcome to another lesson here on YouTube. Today we are going to look at how many versus how much. So let's begin. We ask how many to receive information about quantity. We respond how many with a number or an estimate of quantity. So we use how many when we can give a specific quantity, yeah? When we can give a specific quantity about an object, a location, a person, an animal, about nouns, we use how many to ask for quantity. So we use how many to ask about countable nouns. In previous lessons, we've looked at what is a noun, and a noun in English describes a person or expresses a person, an animal, a location, or an object. So a thing, a place, a person, or an animal. So these are nouns, yeah? So when we have countable nouns, we can count and give a specific number of that noun. For example, how many houses are there? We can count the number of houses, so we use how many. How many chocolates do you have? We can count the chocolate bars and give a specific number. We can respond with a specific number. That is a countable noun. And how many people are coming? How many people are coming? We can count the number of people. Now, when we create questions with how many, we use the noun in plural. So notice how many houses, how many chocolates, how many people are coming. In our previous lesson, we looked at plural nouns. So I recommend watching our previous lesson on plural nouns so that you're familiar with irregular plural nouns like people. In singular is person, in plural is people. And we have other regular plural nouns. Let's continue and let's look at countable nouns. A countable noun is any noun you can give a specific number to describe its quantity. For example, houses. We can say, there are 10 houses. Yeah, this is a specific number. Fishes. We can count fish. We can say, there are 3 fishes. We also practice in our previous lesson using there is and there are. So I would recommend looking at that class to practice describing there is and there are. Cats, we can count the number of cats. We can count cups, yeah, cups of coffee, cups. We can count glasses, yeah, number of glasses or glasses to drink. And watches, yeah, where we tell the time, watches. So notice in plural we have fishes, watches, and glasses, yeah, versus cats, cups, houses. So in English, sometimes plurals change. In our previous lesson, we talked about that. Now, countable nouns are nouns that you give a specific number, that you can describe its quantity with a specific number. Let's continue and let's look at how much. We use how much to ask about uncountable nouns. They cannot be counted with our hands, or they cannot be counted. So for example, how much water do I use? You can measure water, but you cannot count water. So how much time do you have? How much time do you have? You cannot count time. How much does this cost? How much is it? So when you're asking for price, we use how much. And when we use how much, it is not necessary to use the plural. How much does this cost? How much is it? How much time? Water? There is no plural. The concept stays in its singular form. All right, class. Let's continue and let's look at uncountable nouns. Uncountable nouns, you cannot count these nouns, You cannot count these nouns. You cannot use your hands. You cannot use a calculator to count, but you can usually measure them. They can be measured, but they cannot be counted. They're usually concepts, drinks, or general category of different things. For example, money. Money is not countable. Dollars are countable. Pesos are countable. Soles are countable. So we use money with how much money do you save? How many dollars do you have? How many pesos? How many soles? So here, money as a general category is not countable, but dollars, pesos, or soles are. So the currency is countable. A specific currency is countable. All right, let's look at the next one. We have advice. Advice are usually like suggestions, And advice, we cannot count, Water, pollution, so contamination, Pollution, contamination, traffic, and coffee. These two, water and coffee, are drinks, and the rest are general category of things or concepts. These are examples of non-countable nouns. They are uncountable. So we use how much when we ask a question about quantity. How much money, how much advice, how much water, how much pollution, how much traffic, how much coffee. Let's look at our practice. So let's identify if the nouns are countable or uncountable. For example, rice. Rice is uncountable. Pollution, uncountable. Sugar, uncountable. Water, uncountable. House, countable. Question, countable, or questions, countable. Money, uncountable. And pesos, countable. So if we create a question with these about quantity, with these nouns, we use, let's see, how much rice? Let's look at a different color. There we go. How much rice? How much pollution? How much sugar? How much water? How many houses? Let's put this in a different color. Let's see. There we go. The same with questions. How many questions? Next one we have how much money? And final one, how many pesos? So we look at if the noun is countable or uncountable. We use how much for uncountable nouns, how many for countable nouns. We are finished for today. If you have any questions, please use the comment section or any recommendations of classes you want to see. We are finished for today. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell and continue to practice these nouns so that you're familiar using them in class and outside of class.